Okay, so we are live. You can't see us, but we are coming on. Check us out. We got Dr. J.R. Heiz and we got Reverend Jodi Susan. We were talking behind the ginkgo leaf. Um, so I want to welcome everybody to this unscheduled, scheduled show. I wasn't planning on doing this, and Dr. JR and I decided, well, we can just do this live. And so I want to do a brief introduction to my good friend and brother from another mother who also shares the same birthday as my mom, Dr. J.R. Heiz, Jean-Raphael Heiz. He is a holistic physician and healer, and he has dedicated his life to empowering individuals on their journey towards optimal health and well-being. And he does this through virtual sessions, online group healing, and he leverages, and I've been the gift of that, a wide array of integrative techniques to support his clients in both a physical, emotional, and spiritual growth. And those who follow this channel know that it's not one, it's all three all the time. So JR, he is based in the Chicago metropolitan area where he has practiced transcends geographical boundaries, enabling him to work with patients from around the world. And everybody knows as energy healers, we know no bounds, right? And he utilizes a blend of behavioral and lifestyle coaching, biohacking, herbal medicine, supplementation, resonance therapy, and energy medicine. And he crafts personalized approaches to health restoration. His impressive credentials: he is a PhD in traditional Chinese medicine, that's TCM, from Beijing, China, and licensure. He's licensed, I can't say the other word, as an acupuncturist in Illinois, which is my home state. He holds multiple degrees in applied behavioral science and nutrition and certifications in hypnosis and energy healing. He is a certified master therapist with an International Association of Synergetica, and he integrates a multitude of healing philosophies into his practice. And you wonder... and you're only 44, which is crazy. And
41, 41 years young. 41 years young.
I messed that up. But the thing is that, as you've told me many times, energy is your first language. And it's an honor to have you here, to be able to share your gifts with the world. And better than that, though, to call you my friend. Yeah, I love you.
Mm-hmm. Love you too. Thank you. What a great intro. That was beautiful.
I could have written it better myself.
What an honor.
So today, we are talking about why we should live our lives like a ritual. Why should we live our lives like a ritual?
It's not a matter of we should. It's a matter of choosing. Choosing to live life as a ritual. You know what is a ritual? Ritual is something that you invest every ounce of willpower, every ounce of focus, every ounce of attention in the craft that you are doing at that time. So whether that is a form of praying, whether that is movement therapy, also known as exercise, but I just don't like that word. People.
I call it activity.
Activity. I use movement therapy. But people that do long distance running, they get into that zone, right? It's the flow state, right? Really getting into really getting involved in the action that you are doing or the non-action that you're doing. That would be a form of meditation. So living this invitation is, I always use the example when tomorrow, for example, when you wake up, go to your window, open up your blinds, and have the intention of looking out your window as if it's the first and the last time you do it.
Yeah, I feel that.
because now you're going to get a much different uh, panographic view of what's outside your window. You're going to see the magic that's in everything. You know, the awe that you have every time you experience something for the first time, especially if you like it. If you don't, that's another story. But you know, eating a food that you've never had before that just engulfs your mouth. You know, you're in that zone. You're in that moment because you're enjoying it fully. So if you take that same principle and just apply it as many times as possible or as a lifestyle, then you're going to be more present in what you do. You're going to be more present in the interactions that you have. You're going to be more present in your thoughts. You're going to be more present in the choices of words that you choose to to use at any certain moment. Um, And more importantly, you take responsibility. Responsibility is two words: the ability to respond to. So you take responsibility of your life. How do you want to live your life? If you enjoy, if every moment that you enjoy fully, you're going to find joy. You're going to find happiness. You're going to find that state of blissfulness or ecstasy in most of the actions that you have during the day. And we got it in the habit, in the behavioral habit of just remembering the icky stuff that happens. You know, if we go to bed, oh, this, and that happened to me. It was awful. But then we forget to look at all the magic that's around us 24/7.
Hold on a second. I've got a issue.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I was trying to promote it on LinkedIn, and I
Uh, Little glitch in the system.
yeah.
It
So
happens.
I'm actually going to hire somebody to run my shows because this
Mm.
doesn't work when I trying to like hear
When
you
we
and
when we tap in, no technology has got to follow us.
hmm yeah.
But yeah,
So
so that's
being
the
present,
implementation.
right? It's about being present in the moment,
It's
and
about
by
being present and fully experiencing the moment.
and I don't think that we do this, and I know that I've been guilty of not doing that because, like others, I have input overload.
And it's very common not to, just because we're thinking of what is ahead of us. You know, we're thinking of the groceries we need to buy, after this podcast, or we're thinking of that email we need to send, or the phone call we need to make, or what we need to do tomorrow, and we forget to really enjoy the present moment. So a wonderful method that was brought into to worldwide, to the global view, was mindfulness meditation, because it makes you really mindful of that moment that you're in this state, in this now, right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, it should be a lifestyle, not a method. Yes, it's good to retreat and be mindful and do um, some sort of meditation or breath work. But imagine if you could be mindful with everything you do. Like next time you caress your pet, your cat, or your birds, right? Caress the top of their heads as if it's the first and the last time you do it. You're gonna enjoy the moment that much more.
Well, they're teaching me to be present in the moment because she doesn't like it when I have my phone,
Mm,
right? So when she comes to play with me, Fagala, Tinkerbell's a
mm,
little shy just yet.
mm.
This phone gets put down, right? And I give her my undivided attention. And the truth of the matter is, we need to do that with everybody.
Yeah, and it's everybody and everything. We're we were brought, or we decided to come to this plane of existence to experience everything. You know, not just the pretty, not just the beautiful, but also the ugly and the icky and everything in between. You know.
Can I rewrite that record?
Yeah. Right. Right.
But what I
That's
when we're
what.
living life as a ritual, like what are this? I know I have certain rituals like that keep
Mhm,
me in my keep me connected with God,
mhm.
that keep me connected with myself, that keep me connected with those that are important to me. What are some of the things that you do that you think are part of a ritual that keep you present, that keeps you grounded, and keeps you on task, and not only task meaning in a being or doing mode, but it could be keeping on task of a being mode versus doing. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. So one thing I want to clarify when I use the word ritual, we're not talking about a religion or necessarily anything spiritual. Although spiritual, you could use it for spirituality, right? But just to give you a perfect example that's very common in today's language, the morning ritual, setting the tone for the day, whatever your ritual is, right? Waking up in the morning and taking however much time you have for your morning ritual and getting that done every single morning, right? My ritual involves first thing is breath work. I do Wim Hof style, but you can do any sort of breath work that charges your cells, that oxygenates your blood. It has it has so many other benefits, right? A little
Well,
bit
the
of movement.
breath work, let me pause on that. The breath work is amazing.
Hmm.
And I went to a spiritual entrepreneurs event here in Georgia, and we were David Brecka got on
Hmm.
stage.
Hmm.
Oh, he's amazing, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And he's a fan
Greg,
of hydrogen
Greg
and
Becca?
water, by the way.
Did you say Greg Becca? You said, I
Gary
think Gary Brecka. Sorry, that's what I meant. I thought you said David. I wanted to
Brecka.
clarify. Oh, yeah, yeah, Gary Brecka. Mm, nice.
So he's amazing. And at the end, he's showing everybody free things that they can do. Not three, but free,
Very
like doesn't
important.
cost you anything. And the meditation, I've always been into, the activity I'm into. I walk at least 2 miles every day, which is not really yet enough for me, but it's enough for now. And, but the breath work, like every time I do breath work, it's amazing, and yet I don't have a practice or a ritual around it yet,
Mhm.
right?
Have-
Because it's
You know,
been kind of introduced to me in the last year.
mhm. Yeah,
And I think that we don't always adopt everything right away, right?
right, right. Gary actually has a really good quote that I use a lot with my patients, and he says, when oxygen is present, there is absence of disease.
Mhm.
And I use that line every day with my patients because it's true. Breathwork is essential. It's a necessity because we don't take time to breathe correctly, and two, when we are breathing throughout the day, well, we don't know how we're breathing at nighttime, but during the day we got stresses, we got this and that, and we tend to breathe up here, right? So really taking time, and this is a 10-minute practice. I mean, you could do longer if you want, but 10 minutes a day gives you an A, right? And just allowing the recharging of your cells with this wonderful gas that we call oxygen that gave us life on this planet, right?
Right.
So going back to the essentials with regard to the three essentials you were talking about, I
Mhm.
agree completely with Gary Brecka, Becca.
Recca,
It's I did
Brecka.
say it. I keep on confusing them. Sorry. So it's breath work, a little bit of sunlight, first sun
Mhm.
is incredibly beneficial. Putting your feet on the dirt or the sand or the floor. If you live in a building, then just with your intention,
Mhm.
go barefoot on your floor and just with your intention create roots from your feet down to the center of the earth. That's another wonderful grounding method. Or there are a lot of grounding mats out there. Any mat is better than no mat, but there are better ones. Uh, there, as long as you get one, it's a good thing, right? But if you want to spend a little extra for a good one, I would highly recommend it. Um, and then a little bit of a little shock to the system. So I always tell people, whenever you shower, do your normal shower routine. Hopefully in the morning it's a little bit on the cooler side, temperature wise. At the end of your shower, turn off all the hot water and stay in the cold for 30 seconds. you will get all the benefits that somebody that does a cold
So
plunge.
tell us about those benefits, because my immediate response is icky, 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 because I don't like to be cold. But
Oh,
why don't you tell us the benefits of this?
I tell my patients all the time, you're gonna, for the first 3 days, you're gonna say Dr. JR is a jerk. You're allowed. Day four,
Mhm.
you're gonna say he's not too bad, and then after that, it feels like silk pajamas. But the benefits are the benefits to the lining of your vascular system. Remember, we have our arteries, our veins, our capillaries. They make up pretty much 3 times the circumference of the Earth,
Mhm.
all within us, right? And that activates a really dilation and a vasoconstriction of your blood vessels, um, cleaning out your blood vessels, allowing for correct circulation, allowing for unblocking of the system.
Mhm.
And what happens when you get in the cold? What is the one reflex everyone has?
Oh,
Right?
they breathe. They breathe
Yep.
out.
So now
Out. Yeah.
you're breathing, you're oxygenating that blood that is being pumped very quickly throughout your system, and it's penetrating every single cell in your body. So it's igniting the energy potential, allowing for your mitochondria to produce more ATP, your energy currency. It's great for
Got
your
it.
immune system. Your immune system. Wim Hof says a cold shower a day keeps the doctor away, right? A little bit of cold shock, and if you don't want to do a cold shower, you could always use a little ice cube and place it behind the back of your skull. It won't be as effective, but it'll do pretty much the same thing.
You take an
Um,
ice cube?
an ice cube, take a
Yeah.
small ice cube, and right in the back where that little divot is in the back of your skull, hold it there for a minute, and you're gonna get a nice little cold shock. Um,
Okay.
another another little hack is to put a salad bowl, fill it up with water, keep it in your freezer, and then in the mornings, break the ice a little bit and stick your face in there and hold it there as long as you can. You're gonna get all the benefits that you do that you get from
I'm
getting from
taking a
doing an
bowl
actual
of ice and
cold
I'm
plunge.
putting my face in it.
Boom. Yep. If you have
Okay.
a snorkel, even better, right? But you got to get all the benefits
You're
from.
thwarting me this morning or this afternoon, right? I'm like, really? You want me to
Yeah,
put my face in ice? Okay.
but honestly, everyone can do, even if you start with 5 seconds or 10 seconds, right? At the end of the shower, just stay in the cold for 30 seconds if you can get there. You're going to get all the benefits. Your immune system, your neurological system, your hormones are going to balance. Incredibly useful for women entering stage of menopause. Um, Incredibly good for women that are losing their hair too. If you're a
What
man
about
and you're
men
not
who are losing their hair? Will they get their hair
men,
back?
men as well, it will help stimulate. Usually for men, the first thing you notice when there's a hormone imbalance is that you don't wake up with a kickstand in the morning. Um, and the second you give your system a little shock like that, it's a good stress. It's what we call hormesis. Is going to balance your hormones. So you'll wake up with a natural kickstand in the morning, which should be
That
the
is such a polite way to put it. It was kind of like that time. It was a couple of years ago that you told me about our
the
nose.
nose.
Yeah,
Yep.
to
Mhm.
say.
Yeah.
Uh,
But those what did we say? We said breath work, grounding, sun exposure, a little bit of cold shock, and then make your coffee. Everyone should have coffee every morning.
okay, I'm not a fan of coffee.
All right, you can have tea. I'll allow it.
Well, I do have the cappuccino tea, which is what I'm
Yeah.
drinking in
Nice.
here,
Mhm.
and it's made with this one happens to be made with dandelions and chicory
Nice.
root and some other things. But
Yep.
I also add herbs to it, like oh, I don't know what I added today. I mean, I usually put in mushrooms, like mushroom tinctures and things like that, um, because as you know, my adrenals are shot. Uh,
Mhm.
not a
Just the
surprise.
season, right? But also,
Although,
sorry, you reminded me something. You reminded
yeah.
me something of when I said coffee. I more specifically, whether you drink coffee or tea, it doesn't matter. But have something hot to drink as the first thing that you put in your body after waking. Make sure it's hot. Don't burn yourself.
Okay,
Like
so
you want
it's a cold shower, cold face, hot
yes,
drink.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
explain that to me because I really don't know.
The hot drink is going to jumpstart your metabolism. So after doing the three things that we just explained, you're gonna be pumped, right? You're gonna have your energy. You're going to essentially activate your system. But drinking some warm water, hopefully with a little bit of salt or lemon in it, or even baking soda, is going to cleanse the the GI tube, because we have a north and south pole. So it's going to help cleanse that on the inside. And it's going to activate your digestive response, so that when you do eat, you're going to be able to metabolize um, your food that
So I'll
much better.
metabolize faster if I have a hot cup of something in the
Hmm.
morning after having a cold shower,
Hmm.
which at the end of my warm shower, I can turn it to cold. And if I don't want
Hmm.
to take a cold shower, I can stick my face in a cold bucket of ice.
Right. Or again, the little hack of the ice cube right in the back of your skull. 1 minute.
Okay.
Everyone can do these, and these are again, they're free, or as free as possible, right? You could go the expensive route, but if you go free, why not?
So, and I want to talk about the ice for a minute,
Mm.
um, because I had a real wake up call about ice, and you know this already, so I'm not educating you. Um, so I was having problems under my eyes, inflammation,
Mm.
and it's been going on for 4 months. And I'm
Mm.
like, okay, energy work,
Mm.
because and the truth is, there's always an energetic thing, something energetic that you need to release when you have any type of inflammation, disease state, whatever it is. There's always an emotional component, because it's that emotional component that brings the disease into your field or the dysfunction into your field. So, we're clearing, and I'm like peeling those layers. And like 4 months later, I'm like, I am so done peeling the layers. Can we just be done? Right. And so Chris, who's watching the show right now, Chris Fetchula, who says hello to both of us. Hi, she says hi, Jodi and JR. Um, she had seen water, and I just don't get it. And so we ignored it for a while. And then I'm on the couch in meditation with Tinkerbell and Fagala, right? And I'm like, please, God, like, help us. Like, what is it? Where is this coming from? And they said, water.
Mm.
And I'm like, where we? you know, I have a whole house water filtration system.
Okay.
So
Mm.
let me like light up, let me shed some light on your water. Okay. This is crazy. And I spoke about this a little bit the other day too. But if you're drinking water from your refrigerator door, it has um, it has a propensity, a very high propensity. Whether it has a filter on it or not is irrelevant. Okay, whether you're filtering the whole house, it's irrelevant. So cast aside all your belief systems that that's clean water, because it ain't. It is a place to hold fungus and bacteria when you have, whether it's the water or the ice cubes. Okay. So I'm like, okay. And I stopped using that ice cube. So I go downstairs with my handy dandy ice cube maker that's separate, like just a separate function. It's also electric. And damn it again, I inflammation under the eyes. So I'm like, Jodi, it's electric. It's got to bring stuff through. It's not, it went into the garbage. The garbage man picked it up. So then I'm like, it's clearing, it's clearing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I decided to have a cup of tea before bed using my coffee pot, right? Or my tea maker, I guess you call it, which also filters water through. And not, I mean, and I woke up with inflamed eyes, and I'm like, damn it. So, so I put, what I put in there was silver, chelated silver, on guard essential oil, vinegar, and water, and clean it. And you need to be cleaning that sucker about every 3 days if you're going to make your coffee that way. And kick the ice cubes to the side. Now, if you want to have ice cubes, and bear with me, JR, because I just know that I have a solution for what I'm about to say.
Sure.
Uh, I'm recommending those plastic ice cube makers, the old fashioned ones that we had. Now, I know you're going to get microplastics, but I'm super cool about showing you the easy way to get microplastics out of your system using lemon essential oil. So much easier than getting bacteria and fungus out of your system because that grows like crazy. Okay. So, lemon essential oil in a veggie cap, take it every day anyway, gives you mental acuity. We'll get those microplastics out of your intestinal tract and you won't be subjected to bacteria and fungus. So I finally got that. And then on top of it, I'm like, the water pick. So the thing is, people, you need to look at where is this water flowing and how are you cleaning it and what's your ritual, right, for keeping things in a uh, safe home.
Mhm.
Okay, rant over.
Also, going back to the ritual, every time you drink water, remember water, just like oxygen, it gave us life on this planet. So thank the water before you drink it. Just an invitation to everybody. Thank the water before you drink it, and you will notice. Most people will notice a difference in the taste of the water.
Well,
It will when you
I'm all
acknowledge
in
it.
on that. You
When you
know,
acknowledge it and you drink it, it will taste like a finer water because it's gonna say basically thank you for addressing me. Thank you
well,
for your
and then
gratitude.
let me say this: if you're not filtering your water, you need to call me because I've got two new relationships that I've been vetting for months with two new, and they're not even on my website yet. That's how new this is. But for hydrogen water, filtered water, neither one of them are MLMs. I'm not doing MLMs. And so if you want just really good water at an affordable price and to take your health to the next level and start a new ritual, right?
Right, exactly.
And when I want to mention about the praying for the water, so do you want to talk about Masuro Moto's experiment and explain why prayer on water and why it makes a difference and how that relates to the body as well? Okay.
So Masaru Emoto was a Japanese researcher, and he essentially, I'm going to shorten this as much as
Yeah,
possible, but he essentially discovered that there's a consciousness behind water,
yeah.
right? For lack of a better word. So he took,
I think that's a great word.
right?
No, it's a great. There is
One way to describe
consciousness.
it, right?
There's
There's a
consciousness in
consciousness within water.
everything, but our water holds that, and it holds emotions,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So he took three jars. In one jar, he put a little bit of rice and some water.
Mm-hmm.
In the next jar, so he put the same thing in the three jars. Three
Yeah.
jars, a little bit of rice and some water. In one jar, he said every day for a period of time, he said, "I love you" to that jar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, the one in the middle, he did not say anything at all. He neglected. And then the one next to that, the third jar, he said, "I hate you" to it.
Mm-hmm.
So given some time later, he analyzed the water and even the rice was, sorry, the jar with the rice and the water, after a period of time of saying "I love you" to it
Mm-hmm.
every day, right? It started sprouting. It started building, creating new life, right? It was a very beautiful image. And also, if he took the water sample, put it under a microscope, and the structure of the water, the crystalline structure of the water was very beautiful. It looked like the most beautiful snowflake, right? We're gonna stick
And
the
they're
word.
not all the same, right? Because depending on the prayer, that structure, that snowflake, they're all
It
very
changes.
unique, just like
Yeah,
how
it changes exactly.
unique.
There's a structure for gratitude. There's a structure for loving. There's a structure for appeasing or easing. there's a structure for healing when you do hands-on energy work. You can see it in the crystalline structures. So going back to the three jars real quick, we're gonna skip the middle one. We're gonna go to the one that he said I hate you to. That one, it just it developed molds and just other toxins within it, um, from being told I hate you. But the interesting thing is the one in the middle, the one that got neglected, that one rotted.
That one did what?
That one rotted. The rice rotted. The water rotted. Um, so it's very interesting when you see, we always think that hatred is the
Oh,
worst form of
you're cutting out.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, there you are. So
Okay,
I want to
I'm
talk
back.
about that middle jar that rotted.
It's
You
interesting
heard of
when you.
oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Have you heard of the still face experiment?
Hmm.
So it's like the still face experiment. The
Hmm.
mother won't look at the child,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
it just destroys the thing. I wasn't going to do this. Um, you can read my mind. So why don't you go ahead and give me what number? Am I supposed to tell what I'm supposed to say right now?
Go for it.
Yeah, that's what I hear. There may be tears.
Mhm.
We come down here and we make agreements. I'm going to do the best I can. We make agreements to do things, to have experiences, and I made an agreement for the highest good. I have the most amazing husband on the planet. And I hope he listens to this. We're separated. He and I made an agreement for humanity so that the rest of the world could rise up. Okay? And in my book, I talk about, and it wasn't just him who I witnessed this with, I witnessed it with him, a doctor friend of mine in Texas, and I witnessed it with a family member. Okay. This concept called a walk in. And people get labeled things they're not supposed to be labeled. And when we approach life from a spiritual perspective, we can have a lot of grace and we can have a lot of love and we can stop labeling people like with whatever mental health labels that we give them. Okay. And I didn't understand, and neither did he understand what we were going through. But he couldn't remember what I was saying. And some people would describe that as things like narcissistic, dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever. People got labels. It's not true. But I didn't know what was going on. And so we separated. And then I went into prayer. And I prayed to God to give me the answer. And I rewrote the Akashic record. So what was happening for us and for humanity would never happen to us again in any lifetime, any timeline, or dimension, or something better. You see, when people are traumatized, and I want to go back to what the Dr. JR was saying, when the rice is neglected, it rots. And I got scared. And so I neglected my husband because I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what to do with the energy. I didn't understand the energy. And he was playing a part for us, for all of humanity, so that we can shed light on how we really heal. And he is an amazing healer, and he is an amazing man, and he is a brilliant man, and he's got a good heart and a good soul. And, you know, when we neglect somebody, they rot, like the still face experiment. When we say mean things, their cells. We are 70% water. Is that right, Dr.
About
JR? About
about
70. depending on how much
outside
you're
of
drinking for the day, right? So what's your ritual with your husband? Let me take it back to ritual. What's your ritual with your husband or your wife or your partner? Okay. And how are you going to show up and how are you going to make sure that they are seen and heard and valued? What's your ritual for that? What's your ritual to make sure that work, this is what I did, that work doesn't take precedence over your family life? Because at the end of the day, on your tombstone, they're not going to say she was the best worker on the planet, right? Because no one cares. You're dead and they're replacing you with somebody else who'll work. So they don't really care, right? But your family cares. Your husband cares, your wife cares, your partner cares. And so I'll just own what I did. I made a mistake. I got a lesson. And I pray every day that he heals from the experience that we both went through. And I will tell you that he was not easy and neither was I. But we agreed to do this. We agreed to do this. And now it's our time to clean it up. And so going back to ritual, we not only need to have a ritual for how we treat our partners, but a ritual for how we heal, a ritual for how we argue, quite frankly. How do you want to argue with your partner? Because you're going to have arguments. The question is, do you want to do it in a toxic way or do you want to do it in a way that heals everybody at the end? Do you want to add to?
do you want to do a quick ritual?
Yes, I love rituals.
I figured as much. I'm tapping into the birds that are right behind you on the picture, and since I
Okay.
know you have a close relationship to birds in general, so can you do this motion? Put your thumbs together. All
Oh,
right,
yeah.
just sit on your chest.
Hmm.
Just go ahead and close your eyes and tap one hand after the other.
Forgiveness. Hmm.
And allow yourself to forgive yourself. Allow yourself to forgive the situation. Allow yourself to tap into the learning that you acquired in this process with all the magic and the hurt and everything in between. And it's okay to feel the way I feel. Just allow the flapping of the wings to push off so that you can fly into the horizon and let that go. All right? Bring in forgiveness, bring in infinite love and gratitude. There we go. Take a deep breath.
So I'm using my all clear protocol too on forgiveness for the self.
Mhm. Yeah.
And and I've been doing that all clear protocol for the forgiveness of the self, but you know, it goes deep, when
Yeah.
we
Of course.
you have an angel behind you.
All right. Is it
Hmm.
popping up?
Hmm.
So so to everybody, to as an example, that's a form of ritual. What we just did. It's a beautiful ritual. And you can use hands, you can use thoughts, whatever you want to call it. A ritual is something that you dedicate a period of time fully in that moment. So what we did here was just a nice imagery to release what needed to release so that you can be freed of that non-forgiveness, right?
Hmm.
Okay. But a ritual is waking up in the morning and smiling. First thing in the morning, first thing you do when you open your eyes is smile. Fake it until you make it, like the old shampoo commercial. But smile. Start the day with a smile, right? When you do your morning routine, you're setting the tone for the day ahead, right? That's powerful. That allows you to tap into the architect, the designer, and the engineer of your life. You end up being the the producer, the writer, and the actor of the life of JR or the life of Jodi or the life of whoever's watching. It's your life. You get to create it, and you have that power every single morning. Every morning you have a white canvas. What are you gonna paint today? It doesn't always have to be
Right. I mean,
rainbows.
and that's exactly it. We have to paint that canvas in a way that fuels and heals our soul. And I want to
It has to be
circle back.
authentic.
I don't think I told people. I don't. Did I tell people exactly what all that means? Like this walk in and walk out. People
Not
can't
yet.
remember. People
Not
can't
yet.
It's a book that came out, Emotional Healing, Toxic Free Living. People can't remember the experiences because they spiritually leave their body, okay? Because they can't be present in the moment because of whatever trauma in the present moment or trauma from the past that's triggering them. And then they get a label and they get drugs. And this is not how we're supposed to be. And by the way, I had walk-ins for probably 30 or 40 years, right? So most everybody does. And so that's why we have an over medicated community of people, and people you don't need to be medicated, right? You're perfect and beautiful as you are, and you just, we all have to work and heal our traumas, right? And that's what we do. And we don't heal our traumas with prescription drugs or non-prescription drugs for that
They
matter.
are band-aid.
They are a band-aid.
Band-aid.
Yeah. So,
Sometimes,
um,
sorry, real quick.
no, please go
Uh,
ahead.
in this case, I want to be very clear in my position. The band-aid is sometimes necessary. Okay, it's not going to be the cure-all right, you have to do the internal work for that, but the band-aid, do not think a lot of practitioners, at least in the holistic field, have this aversion to pharmaceuticals when the pharmaceutical is absolutely necessary for your peace of mind, for your inner joy, for your happiness, for your bliss, for your ecstasy, right? Because life is ecstatic, right? If you can't get that, if you can't get that for ABC reason, whatever the reason is, get yourself the aid that's going to make you feel that way, and then you can do the internal work in order to release what needs to be released.
So I do politely disagree because, and you, like, everybody's entitled, right, to where they want to be with this. So if, like, for instance, it's a drug for anxiety or stress, where to go? So this is cheer, but this is not what I would start with. But basically, you take the oil because you can get to your brain in 20 seconds with inhaling an oil, and it gets into your limbic system. And I believe a drug can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 30 days before you start to see the effects. So personally, I think that using a plant to get into your brain quickly will give you more relief. I do understand completely, though, where you're coming from, because when there's a program belief system that that's the only way you can do it, that will override anything my oil will do. So I'm not discounting Dr. JR's approach because he understands the human condition in a way that's unrecognizable. I I just, like, I also would not make somebody wrong for choosing um on a temporary basis a medication, but you can also reprogram yourself to do
It's
something.
just it's not common knowledge, not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet in this
It is
moment.
becoming more and more accessible and more common in layman's terms. The term integrative or holistic medicine, like people are starting to use it. They might not understand it yet, but they're starting to use it. So here's the thing. It comes down to this. Um, whatever um, band-aid you choose to use, whether it's a pharmaceutical, whether it's a supplement, whether it's an essential oil, whether it's hands-on healing, right? Whether it's infinite loving gratitude, or meditation, or mindset, or hypnosis, whatever the case may be, right? You could get the band-aid, all right,
Mhm.
but then seek somebody in the integrative field, in the functional field, or in the holistic field to help you go deep into the traumas and help heal those. There are many different methods out there, right?
Absolutely.
But the band-aid is only going to be there as a band-aid. It's only going to cover the superficial, and it might mask the symptoms. but it's not going to treat the underlying cause.
So
Okay.
you're spot on. And this is also technically then a band-aid, right?
Yes.
Because it gets me through the moment in time.
Exactly.
But so some of the, I work with the mental health community here in Georgia. So people who do EMDR,
Hmm.
people who do
Wonderful method.
EFT
I
tamping,
love
right?
EMDR.
Me too. That's what helped me. Precision sound frequency. I actually sell a device so you can do that at home. And you know, uh, there's brain spotting.
Hmm.
There's also the brain tap by Dr. Patrick
Yeah.
Porter, right?
EFT, emotional freedom technique.
Yeah, I did
Oh,
say EFT. Maybe it got cut out, but EFT
yeah.
is
But
amazing.
yeah, there are
Um,
many forms, many methods. Some that you can learn on your own, even if you look it up on YouTube. Try to look up emotional release and find someone that has at least a following, right? And then even not even I'll use a simple example. If you listen to your favorite song, that one song that just it gets you it gets you
right.
going. It makes you want to shake the skeleton a bit, right? And no matter what time, what day you play it, you just get that same feeling every time, and it's just that happy, yummy feeling. All right. When you're down, down in the dump, and you're spiraling into that black hole that we call ickiness, right? Just the mere sound of your music, of the mere sound of your favorite song, it might be enough to just get you a couple of steps closer to the edge of that hole. Sorry, I use the imagery of the holes I was doing with that, but it's gonna help
I
you
think I shocked you
climb
when
out
I
of the
put your
hole.
beautiful mug on the
It's
screen.
gonna help you get out of that hole. Now, depending on how deep that hole is, yes, you might need essential oils. You might need herbal medicine. You might need help for pharmaceuticals, right, to help you assist in that. But just sound, just walking into painting your room a nice bright color makes a big difference. Getting some sunlight, you know, sunlight is going to produce vitamin D. It's going to energize your cells. It's going to give you that uplifting feeling. Cold shock is a powerful one. Cold shock gives a huge dopamine effect.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, the thing is that like I got out of my routines or rituals, and now I have ones when I'm not feeling well, or if I'm taking a phone call and I'm not expecting that phone call and it's still light outside, I'm getting my shoes on and walking outside and taking that phone call as I walk. I want to do a little bit of a plot twist here, because I want people to have an opportunity to download your new book. Do you want to tell people about your book and how to download it? I will put the link in the chat. How about it?
You're a sweetheart. My company is called Dr. Vibe because I'm all about vibing, right?
Hmm.
And on the website is drvibe.me. So drvibe.me. That's the website. Um, you could click, download the ebook. It's completely free. The book is called The Ritual of You, and it's going back to what we were talking about, living life as a ritual. It's having the plate of food in front of you that you're going to eat. Place your hands over it. Feel the energy of the food. Get in connection with the food, because then when you go to taste it, you'll have already smelled it. Then you go to taste it, then you'll have a much brighter experience, right? It's gonna be like fireworks in your mouth, right? Every time you have your water, drink your water and thank it before. The ritual of showering, we always think of shower as just scrubby, scrubby, soap, right? Showering showering to energize yourself if you do it in the morning. Showering to really let go of the crap that you're carrying from the day, right?
I pray when I'm in the shower. So for
Right? Yeah.
me, my shower is a ritual.
Hmm.
I shower, I pray, I clear energy that needs to be cleared. I usually clear the universe, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing when you put intention beyond what when you put intention beyond what you are actually doing.
Hmm.
It's that much more powerful. There's a section in the book for having a nightly routine, right? We always think of the morning ritual, right? We never learn about how to close the day, right?
Well, you
Imagine,
did. You taught me how to close the day.
right?
'Cause Do you,
You know,
you know what I do now because of you?
tell me.
So, like, my bedtime is 9 o'clock.
Hmm.
Now, I don't always get it in bed, but by that time, I'm off of my computer. So I'm reducing my blue light, right? This negative blue light, and I do things to get my body into rest and digest. So it could be meditation, it could be my PEMF mat, my red light therapy. Um, I don't have caffeine, but if you're having caffeine, right, probably want to nix that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But I really, and I stop the work, like, so I get myself out of that. And before that time, I'm also have written down all my to-do lists from for the next day, so that I don't have anchored in my brain and my having my ACG go crazy, so I can have calm and peace. And a lot of times I'll take a long hot bath with Epsom salts.
Hmm.
um, what else do I put in there? Baking soda, hydrogen peroxide,
Hmm.
and my favorite, essential oils. What is your ritual for going to bed?
I have one, but I'm gonna start with the morning. I'm gonna start with the first thing I do in the morning. And
Okay, good
I hope one day I could see this being taught in the kindergarten. All right.
enough.
First command you should make in the morning when you wake up. First command, one smile, right? The first command you should make is I raise my vibrational frequency in the highest and best way. Whatever
Well,
word
let's
you want
wait, but I want to tap into that for a quick second. So some people may not be aware that, the map of consciousness and the vibrations, and like 20 is shame and guilt, and 1,000 is enlightenment. And so what Dr. JR taught me, like when I'm feeling bad, he goes, well, just bump up your vibration, like bump it up to 1,000.
to.
And I'm
It's
like,
the charging.
okay,
It's the charging of your of your phone battery.
yeah,
If your phone is working at 20%, well, you're not going to be optimal, right?
that's a
So
nice
first thing
way
in
to
the
put it.
morning, first thing in the morning, charge your battery, and all it takes is the intention of making a command because you are the CEO of the greatest chemical factory in the world, your body, right? So make your command. I raise my vibrational frequency. I'm charging the battery full blast, right?
So, but
But
the
now
thing
you want
is, the most important part that you taught me is that I can ask for help if I don't feel like I could do that on my own. And so I
yes,
really want people to know, who are listening, you can ask for help. And that doesn't mean calling Dr. JR for help. It means calling on source energy for help. Okay?
if you have if you're not inclined to look at a higher self, at a higher power, right? Then think of it as your higher self, right? We have a higher intelligence that we have access to, right?
Yeah,
And
for
is
sure.
that is what we call the mind, and we refer to the mind. We always point at up here, right? The brain. The brain is a very small fraction of the mind. The mind is every single mitochondria running the show in your body, right? So it's circulating throughout your body. Use your body to ask a question, and your body will give you a response if you look at it that way.
Hmm.
So sorry, first thing, in the morning, charge your battery. I use the phrase, I raise my vibrational frequency in the highest and best way. At nighttime, this is going back to your question about my nightly routine. My last command of the day, I let go of what no longer serves me.
Hmm.
Okay. If we get in the habit of doing that, one, the next day I'm not going to be carrying the CREP that I had yesterday or the week before, right?
Hmm.
um, it's going to be all clear, right? I'm not going to have this weight on my shoulders. No wonder people are losing their necks because their weight,
Right.
their
You're
shoulders
carrying the
are
weight of the world.
from carrying a bunch of stuff that most of the time doesn't belong to you, and and has nothing to do with you, doesn't assist you in any way. So let that go. But it is a good idea to end your day with something that you do that says, you know, if my phone rings, I don't have to pick it up. I don't have to check that
Yes.
email. I don't have to do this or that. It can wait until tomorrow. And sometimes it's a bubble bath. Sometimes it's me saying, I let go of the crap that no longer serves me, whatever the case may be. But that's my invitation. That
Well,
that went by fast.
yeah, it's a whole
Well,
hour.
that little time together went by fast.
Yeah, it was amazing. So I encourage you to go to his website, drvibe.me. So drvibe.me. And you download his book. It's amazing. I started to scan it last night. I haven't read it full, but you know, Dr. JR's are also part of my book as well, or our book. It's really not my book. I have to really change my languaging. And so he wrote a contribution on casting, right? And so people, this is my tribe, and I'm bringing my tribe to you, so that we can raise the consciousness of the universe. So
When your
um,
battery is charged, it has a domino effect. You keep on raising, you keep on charging your battery. Humanity is going to start charging their battery. It has a domino effect.
absolutely. All right. I'm going to sign us off and hang out there for a minute with me, Dr. JR.
Thank
And
you.
we love you all. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.